Good morning and happy Tuesday, folks. Hope and pray that you're doing well this morning. Hope and pray that you are expecting those blessings from God this day upon your life. I want to remind you to continue to keep Stacy's family in your prayers. Of course, you know he passed away. His funeral is tomorrow over to the church. Visitation will be at 11 and funeral will be at 12. So be in prayer for that family as they go through this season of grief right now. Speaking of seasons, the writer of Ecclesiastes, Solomon, the wisest of the wise, of course, a lot of his decisions make us wonder about his wisdom, to be honest with you. But still, he is the wisest man, really, I think, except for Jesus, to ever walk on the face of the earth. But he wrote this in Ecclesiastes chapter number 3 and verse number 1, very familiar portion of Scripture. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Now, you know, he goes through the litany of everything that there is a time for in the verses following that. But we'll just focus on verse number 1. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. And you know, I can't speak for anybody else, but I know that I'm not necessarily a big fan of things changing. But you know, we're encouraged to understand that there is a time for different kinds of changes. I mentioned Stacy Marvin a little while ago, and you know, he lived upon this earth, a wonderful man of God, good man to go and talk to, but now God has called him home. It was his time to go on home to heaven. We think about it's the month of September. In a couple of weeks, according to the calendar, it'll be a new season. And you know, there is a time for summer, there's a time for fall. Later on, there's a time for winter. Later on, farther than that, there's a time for spring. There's a time to break down, Solomon tells us here, and a time to build up. There's a time for everything. And we must be encouraged by that fact right there. We may not always enjoy the things that come up, but we must understand that there is a time for each and every one. So I hope and pray this encourages you today. Hope and pray you have a wonderful, wonderful day in the Lord. Love you, folks, and I'll talk to you a little bit later. God bless you.